This video is going to be a video about juicing for kids. I know a lot of people have different concerns about giving their kids juices, especially with all the articles and things that I've read with giving juice to children. They say it has a lot of sugar in it, whatever. There's a lot of different thoughts and things, and I'm just going to share with you some tips and tricks, ideas, and thoughts about number one, the sugar, and just how to give your kids juice if you're worried about that. And I'm talking about fresh pressed juice. And then the secondary thing is pasteurization. A lot of people worry about pasteurization in juices, and I'm going to be sharing some tips and things that we do to help us not worry so much about the juices being unpasteurized. The first concern that a lot of people have is the sugar. I know fruit juices, especially when you buy them in the store, have a ton of sugar in them, and you worry about giving it to your kids because you don't want it to have too much sugar. I know for me, everywhere I look and read, it says, oh, make sure you don't give juice to your little ones because it's just so much sugar and there's no fiber content. The sugar is mostly from different fruit juices, and you can juice fruits in a juicer. I love the juicer that I have. I recommend the Breville cold fountain juicer. When you do juice at home, you can really regulate that pretty well. And my little one is right down here with me. You can regulate the sugar and the fiber content just by maybe juicing more vegetables rather than fruit. Of course, fruit has more sugar in it than a lot of the vegetables. So if you're doing a lot of spinach juicing and then you do a little bit of fruit with it, it still tastes sweet, but it doesn't have as much sugar as if you're just giving them a glass of pasteurized apple juice. We juice a lot of low sugar items. Carrots are pretty high sugar, but we also do different leafy greens. You can do cucumbers, things that don't have as much sugar in them. And you can mix that with maybe something that might have a little bit more sugar, such as carrots. You can do carrots with leafy greens, which my daughter, she loves that type of a juice. And most kids do. It does taste pretty good, especially when it's fresh. But you don't have to have as much sugar as the sugar that's in the juices that you buy off the shelf from the grocery store. The secondary thing is if you're worried about the sugar and the sugar spike that is often seen, I'm giving my daughter a snack while I'm talking, or having the sugar without much of anything else in your kids, also if you're diabetic. Some things that we do here is we take the juice and then we blend it with berries and greens, and we make more of a smoothie out of it. And that helps with adding fiber. That helps with adding the fiber and the sugar so that it digests a little bit slower and the sugar doesn't give them so much of a sugar rush, but it still adds a lot of really good nutrients in that smoothie with the fresh juice. And then we love blending it with berries. I love making a smoothie with the fresh juice and then some frozen berries. And then the secondary thing is if you're worried about some type of a sugar spike, and I'm really talking about if you're doing fresh juice with items that have a lot of sugar in them, such as the root vegetables or fruits. You could also add in some type of a snack that has omega-3 fatty acids, some type of a fat with avocados, or as a snack on the side, or some type of a nut butter on the side with the juice. That often aids in the slower digestion of the fruit juice. There is fiber in the juice, though. Some of that fiber does get into that juice when you're juicing carrots and spinach, so it's a little bit more fibrous than if you were to buy apple juice straight off the shelf at a grocery store. The second thing that people might worry about is pasteurization. The pasteurization is a little bit of a scare, especially if you are doing greens, or I think that's pretty much the only worry that people have is the E. coli that has happened in different outbreaks of E. coli in greens, and people worry about juicing those things because they don't want to juice that and then give it to their children. So a couple of recommendations with that is make sure that if you are buying the greens that you are washing them with just water. We buy spinach that's triple washed, and I I feel pretty confident with that there aren't any type of germs or things on the spinach that has been triple washed. And usually the E. coli comes on romaine. The outbreak has usually been on romaine lettuce and not so much spinach. But the reason why I'm saying spinach is because spinach is such a necessary vegetable, I feel like, because especially with kids, it's high in iron, it's high in calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A. There's so many benefits of juicing spinach. It's also really high in folate, which I love, especially if you're pregnant. I think juicing spinach is awesome because it's not the folic acid, which is the synthetic form of folate. So I highly recommend juicing spinach if you're pregnant or if you have kids. And then just making sure that it's really well washed with just water. And then I probably should have mentioned this one first, but that is to drink the juice and serve the juice right after you do the juicing, because as it sits, it can oxidize and it doesn't taste as good. But you also don't want an unpasteurized juice sitting in the fridge or just sitting out. You want to drink it right away. You definitely don't want the bacteria to grow as it sits out. It's best to just serve the juice right away. And as long as the vegetables are washed well and the juice is drank right away, I don't have any fear with any type of pathogen or germ or bacteria spreading to kids. I think those are two important tips, especially for kids, but also for adults, that you can take with you if you are thinking or interested in juicing for kids. My daughter, she loves the juice, and I think most kids usually do. I've gone different places and juiced for different family members, and they all seem to really love the juice as far as the kids go. I hope these little tips help you guys if you were looking up information on this topic, or if you're interested in juicing and you have little ones. I've done a lot of research. I love studying nutrition, especially holistic nutrition and things for holistic health. And I hope these things helped you guys if you have also been looking up these things. Leave me a comment if there are any other tips or tricks that you would like to share down in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel to help it grow if you'd like to subscribe. I put a lot of different types of content out there, and I hope that you guys check out some of my other videos. Bye, friends. Hey, you want to do a video? Wait a second. Where are your bows? Where are your bows? Oh.